Welcome back to another episode of BurgCraft. Today is going to be the last important farm that really kind of stops everything from being made. There's just sort of like a limitation on like making bigger new farms and kind of projects, and this is going to be the last one. We are doing gold plus bartering. Gold by itself, very handy for putting together gold. I was about to say golden rails. That's not right. The gold farm good for making powered rails, which is something you need in a lot of farms. And it's also really good for redstone wiring. For example, the storage system I'm going to go for has a lot of it. So get a bunch of that. But even more importantly is a bartering farm, which is going to make tons of gravel so we can have a bunch of concrete that we're going to need. It makes a bunch of obsidian for making portals for any giant portal-based farms. Because like even that, I had to strip down like a good amount of a obsidian pillar in the end, and that was just a lot. I'd rather have it for free. There's still other farms I need. I don't have any tree farms. I've been doing that manually, like a chump. And by a chump, I mean like a regular person. Though that's in the future. And once I have this, the bartering farm makes, for example, a lot of quartz. That's gonna make making observers and comparators substantially easier. I don't have to go out and go into the nether every single time. That's going to be pretty handy. Plus just a whole bunch of other goodies that I'm going to be really happy to have my hands on in a pretty large quantity. Blackstone too, because Blackstone comes up and builds a lot for me. So a couple updates in the area. I have more sniffers, and they have been slowly working hard and giving me a few seeds here. So that's good. Which I've just been kind of planting over here, so I can get some of these. I mainly want these, the pitcher pods for cyan dye. Big fan of cyan dye. Good for terracotta, and I also like the color it makes shulker boxes, which you'll see momentarily as well. And basically, it's just going to open up a lot of things, a lot of abilities to make other farms and stuff like that. But then, more importantly, it's going to open up the opportunity to have a lot of building blocks so that I can actually make buildings. Because every time I'm like, oh, I need this infrastructure, I also sit there and think to myself, oh my god, but it's so ugly. This is good. I haven't finished the ceiling. Like, it's still a big hole. Which, that's not good. So I think there's this. I think there's one other machine I want to make that's going to make my life easier, which is going to be a tunnel bore to get a whole bunch of deep slate very quickly and easily. Easily is in quotation marks because, you know, it's a tunnel bore. They're not easy to make if you're kind of a novice. I think the last farms that I think I personally need, I need the bartering, I need some trees, and then I think there's a couple other just like more interesting contraptions I want to make. And then I also just want to start seeing if I can figure some things out and make it myself. I have an idea for an iron farm that is a little bit like cooler looking, things like that. Just want to make some stuff myself, essentially. Want to get into designing. And the farm I'm going to be making today, the gold plus bartering farm, is by Potato Noir. With the links for that, all this is going to be in the description. It takes quite a lot of materials. This is the materials it takes, already gathered. There's quite a bit, and I've probably forgot something somewhere. But we can have a look at just really quickly. This is me gathering. Oh, yeah. Wow, wasn't that interesting? So there's all that, and actually, this is going to sound really weird, but I went with this gold farm because A, it's interesting. B, it has an extraordinarily interesting method of getting zombified piglins. Gold farms, they all work broadly the same, right? They're basically kill zombified piglins so they drop nuggets, right? I actually have a tiny one over here at the shulker farm, which I've been AFKing every once in a while. I have this set of mud, a wither rose with a turtle egg on top of it. because these portals just make zombified piglins and they come over here to try to crush the egg. But that, oh, see, here's one. That's what you get. Under that mud is just a bunch of hoppers that lead into here, where I've gotten a little bit of gold just from my AFKing. But I need something a little bit more effective than that. Oh, it's nighttime. That means I made an update to my bed that makes so that sleeping in a bed provides the authentic Burgundy World experience. Perfect. So all gold farms functionally work the same. Is that you go into the nether and you put a bunch of spawning platforms out so that you can kill some zombified piglins who drop gold. They die by themselves, they drop nuggets. If you use looting, they can drop more nuggets, and sometimes they drop ingots. I'm going to have a looting-based one. It's also going to be a cracked XP farm, which is going to be quite good. But there's a lot of different ways you can kind of try to influence aggression from the zombies. Some gold farms, what they do is they use, similar to what I have over here, they have a tube of turtle eggs that the piglins walk towards, fall into a hole, and then you kill them from there. A gold farm I'm actually familiar with, if I log into the shared server here. So this is the gold farm I use in our forever server. This is the server I've played on the longest. This is the gold farm area. And they all often work the same way, right? There's a bunch of spawning platforms. We trigger their aggression to walk towards the middle. But how are we going to get aggression in this one? Well, there's an interesting concept discovered by C5, which a link to the video I'm going to show. Jesus! Link to the video in the description, which uses llamas. So I finally have something to do to pay. I have a fitting punishment for these two after they attempted to kill Percival. These guys are going to be passing the aggression for me. And they will have a punishment of the rest of their lives in hell, in boats, with pigs screaming at them. So I'm going to gather up my materials. As you could probably guess from the size of everything here, the amount of materials, it's going to take quite a while. This is quite an involved build. One thing that's going to be different for this one, actually, is going to be the use of soul soil on fire rather than magma blocks. And there's an interesting reason for that. So one of the things that is, the goal is to make sure that only zombie piglins spawn, right? It's the only thing you want. Zombie piglins can spawn on light levels 11 or lower, which is actually lower than what soul soil produces when it's on fire. So you can use that instead of having to collect a bunch of magma cubes and the magma cream and stuff. Now, I also personally like this because when I built that gold farm that I just showed you a second ago, putting the magma blocks made me so motion sick. I was dizzy. I was nauseous. Like, it made me miserable doing that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the texture or the fact that you have to build in a circle, so you're just sitting there just being like, whoa, forever. But I felt like shit. So I'm going to go with this because it's just interesting. It does lower the rates a little bit. They have an easier time spawning on magma blocks, but I don't care. The rates of this farm are so high that it functionally doesn't matter for a single player like me. So I've earmarked the spot out. We are in a nether waste biome. We go under, we can see nether wastes. Pick a nether waste because this is a place that's very friendly to zombified piglin spawns. And basically what we're going to end up having is a bunch of spawning platforms and then an AFK spot up in the sky. What the spawning platforms are also going to lead to is a portal. And we're going to transport them into portal up into our little area to make sure we get more spawns. And then they're going to spawn out of the portal into a boat. 40 boats. Because when you put a mob in a boat, it stops counting towards the mob cap, so we can get even more piglins. So that's going to be really interesting. This should be far enough away from that portal over there. I'm really confident. And, because this is in the nether, so I'll have a lot more wiggle room. Like, 20 blocks away is usually good, and this is more than 20. So we shouldn't have any problems like last time, he says, potentially foreshadowing the darkness. So, it's time to plop this all down. There's going to be back and forth about going to get more materials, because I know for a fact I did not bring all of it. I'm going to be missing something. But this is all here, and we're going to I'm just going to build as much as I can. And I'll take stops at certain points just to highlight some cool things, and I think I'll see you back when the llamas are getting introduced. All right, let's do it. I didn't mention this, but I actually ended up having to move the portals anyways further away because of the biome on the other side needing to be a place where snow golems live. So this is me putting together, trying to figure out the dimensions for myself, just trying to like work it out slowly and make sure I'm doing everything correctly, just because this is going to set me up for the rest of it. And this is the first part of capturing the aggression piglins and putting them in boats, which just involved me just waiting and spawning some and trying to get them into the right places and fiddling around until they're all in there, which took a good number of minutes. And then, yeah, now we're going up a little bit more. I had to light up the platform because I kept getting attacked. This is one of the topmost platforms that I ended up having to do, and you can see me mess up the dimensions repeatedly over and over again. But once again, it was time to put in more piglins for transferring aggression and wiggling about until they all get into boats. And then I didn't put the boats in the right spot, so I had to piston some of them in. Now this is me adding even more, where you had to get a piglin in a boat and then kind of steer it into the middle really awkwardly, which was kind of nerve-wracking, trying to be precise, but got that done, and then started building the very bottom, and I believe this is the first one that gets lit up, which is when I realized the scope of the problem ahead of me and how much work this was going to actually end up fucking being. And I'm scared. Okay, oh no. I'm out of here. Okay, so progress reports. I have inside, there is currently only the one portal. These are the portals that they're going to end up getting funneled into in a little bit. I've got part of the tube that is going to be... Oh my god. Apparently my throat wasn't prepared for this. Insert your own jokes. So, I've got the tube. And these are little drop shafts that all the zombified piglins are going to fall into to eventually end up in these portals. I've added all of the these piglins and boats in different locations are aggression teleporters, transponders, radios. Basically, there's going to be a llama up here that gets one piglin angry. It's going to get all of them angry. These guys are going to get sympathy anger, which is going to go to this guy. There's going to be more platforms around here. It's going to go to all them. Sent down to this guy. All the platforms around here. Sent down to these guys. Platforms all over here. So everyone's going to get really pissed off at this one llama. I haven't died either. Feeling pretty positive about that. And I've done the very first platform with all of the fire. And it's honestly, it's kind of mesmerizing to look at. I have the shaders off, by the way, just because it's hard to see. What does this look like with shaders? Ow! Ow, my eyes! Okay, never mind. Oh, the rest of it looks pretty, like, comprehensible, at least. Except for this. Oh, Jesus. I'm so sorry. Anywho. So I lit this one platform, right? And I made less than a shulker of flint and steels with all of the flint that I owned. And I'm out. I'm almost out of flint and steels from one platform. There are going to be 16 platforms on this. So this is a brief pause for me to go and get some flint, I guess. Everyone made fun of me for the fortune shovel. I realized like, there's only actually one llama in this, but I have two captors. So I'm thinking, I've got this for, I'm gonna have this as one llama's location. But I've got an idea for the other one. Or something similar. It's equally hellish, don't worry. They will be properly disciplined for their treatment of Percival. Alright. Flint time, and then going back to the, back to building. Okay, I went and got this much flint. If this is not enough flint and steel to do this, I'm gonna shit my pants. This was genuinely an absurd amount of time to try to actually, like, put all these platforms in and light them all up and just keep doing that over and over again. This took me several hours, and I passed the time watching old Ethos Let's Play videos so I can build up my cred as a proper Etho girly. Because I'm relatively new to Minecraft, past couple years, and I feel like there's a lot of, like, staples of the community that I don't know as much about. I've been watching Ethos stuff for the past couple years anyways, but none of the old things that, like, people my age or people who've been playing Minecraft this whole time really grew up with and kind of really understood. So I'm just trying to immerse myself in the lore, in the olden texts, as it were, which is something I'm talking about in this time lapse rather than about what's happening, because it's just me placing blocks and lighting them on fire for several hours, which, you know, that took a long time. 16 platforms worth. This is the spawn proofing to make sure gas don't spawn on the roof. And there's this weird glass skirt you add to the top of it. This is to help increase pack spawning in the actual farm to make sure that we get even more. And it's gigantic and also took ages. And that's the end of this. All right, we are done. This is day 2 of the build. Day 1 was the completion of all of this. These are all spawning platforms. And this took ages. You saw the time lapse, but that was a whole night. That was like an evening spent just placing blocks. It's not complicated. There's a couple parts, like, you know, making sure the spacing on the spawn proofing up here is right, and doing all that. But it's just so many blocks. It's just so many that it just took ages to place them. There's a couple of really trippy views on it though. Like, you go like down into this drop shaft that has all of the aggression piglins in it, which is just like a weird little spot. Looking down the drop chutes as well. Woo! So I'm at the stage now where it is time to deliver the llama. I'm really happy. I haven't died once doing this. And that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal for me. This place is hostile. You have to fly away every once in a while when ghasts spawn on it while you're building it. There's a couple points where, you know, the piglins are aggressive and they come for you. But none of that, I didn't die to any of it. I'm personally surprised. I expected it. I'm also happy because, unlike the putting down magma blocks, that I didn't vomit once and didn't get dizzy. So that is an improvement. Mind you, the time it took just to light everything as well, it's crazy. It's a crazy amount. Back in the old days, you'd have to make another minecart path, and I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna make this a lot easier. All right, we're first gonna name with the sentence, and I think it's off them. There we go. Get in the boat. 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 There we go. Now we leave the boat. We begin our journey. This is just so much easier to transport things. Like, I'll never get tired of this. Just kind of being able to drag them around. I don't have to build a gigantic minecart track. It's huge. There are still some difficulties, but all can be worked around. You know, I've been talking about like designing my own farms and machines and things like that, trying to figure out how stuff works. And this is going to sound really weird, but like this llama solution is like inspiring because this is so recent, right? This is such a recent idea that somebody had to transfer aggression. And there's a bunch of just like different creators out there and like Minecraft farm makers who just like they're still coming up with crazy new interesting ideas. And I'm impressed, you know? That like there is still stuff to be discovered out there. And it's nice. Come forth. Your prison awaits. It's kind of menacing looking in the distance. I kind of like that. The crazy thing too is that like I spent a long time yesterday working on this, and this is just the spawning platform. Eventually they're all gonna end up falling into a killing chamber, which teleports them to the overworld first, puts them all together, elevates them to a different platform into a killing area. I haven't built any of the overworld side yet. I haven't built the killing area. Haven't built the storage, and then that's also going to go into a section for piglin bartering, which I haven't built. So this was like, wow, I want to say like 6 hours of dedicated block placing to get to here. And I had to leave every once in a while because I got soul speed on my boots and was, you know, having to go repair it over and over again. Well, I'm like skeptical when someone like makes something that's like extravagant and crazy and just like, oh, I busted this out in just a couple hours. No, you didn't. All right? You're lying to me. Someone will spend like 3 weeks making a build in creative and just be like, oh, you can build this in 20 minutes like I did here. And they build it on their survival. No. I also know a lot of people that use like, fast build with Llamaggro as well. And I think Llamaggro gives the schematic, but then there's a different mod that gives you fast place. Or just like every time you see something, it just puts it in your hand and places it. So you're just kind of walking along, kind of like a automatic 3D printer. I also don't think that counts. Where's the struggle? Okay. I don't know the best way to do this. And this may result in a dead llama. But huh? Huh? What? I was looking. I didn't see the llama take any damage. It just died? Okay, I'm gonna have to go get another llama, I guess. I'm literally gonna go stop this immediately and watch the footage, because I did not see him take any damage. Unless he took a single piece of damage from suffocation, and I killed him instantly. The internet tells me it's because I didn't tame the llama first. It just despawned. So I have to, like, get you to love me? Love me. Now we should be good to put you in hell forever. Attempt number 2. Llama number 2. It's okay. The other one was also a criminal. So the despawn fate. Actually, I think that's okay. I'll have to like check the tapes at some point and figure out which one of those 2 llamas was the one that hit that did the deciding blow. Justice is getting served. Yeah. I also feel like I differ from a lot of Redstoners because I don't like generally speaking, if it wasn't for the fact that this llama was a criminal who insulted me personally, then I probably wouldn't want to do this. But, because, like, I generally don't like putting anything that's, like, adorable into farms. You know what I mean? Like, I know you can make a good creeper farm by putting in a cat, and it scares the creepers off. But then I have a cat stuck in a farm. And that sounds rude. Or, like, there is a version of a wither skeleton farm where you make that kind of that same platform, but you cover the platform in dogs, and the wither skeletons are afraid of the dogs, so they run off. But that seems so mean to the dogs, because it's just the dogs sitting in a farm, just yelling at stuff, sitting in hell. That's scary. I can't do the same with allays, so I don't want to use allays in any. There's like a lot of really good like XP farms, slime farms that are allay based. No, they're adorable. Like villagers, that's okay. They're people, so it's okay to do stuff to them. I don't think that's right. The second, like, if I accidentally kill a villager, and by accidentally I mean on purpose, I'm like, I move on with my life really quickly. If I've accidentally killed one cat, and I was haunted. I was haunted for several days. I can't do it. I don't have the constitution for it. Redstoners will be out here being like, I industrialized 150 armadillos to create the perfect whatever farm. First step, light every armadillo on fire. No. They're adorable. All right, take two. I've tamed you, so you shouldn't despawn. If I lose this llama too, I'm gonna be shooketh. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Okay, so I want to be a couple blocks over. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we'll try to like scoot them around. Like so. And then we can go on in. Yeah, what you did to Percival's not so funny now, looking over at this. Seeing where you're going. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, my ears. Okay, clean this up so nothing spawns on top of me and kills me. You're gonna hear me complaining a lot about the sound, I think, while I'm putting this together. It's because I'm gonna reduce this in post, but for me, the fire, it's so much fire, it's deafening. Also, the fire's really hard in your eyes and with shaders on, so I don't have them. Like, oh my fucking god. So we're having those off for now. It's cool looking. I like it. It's like a more intimidating structure, but also I have sensitive retinas. Baby pupils. Okay, so what I gotta do is... Ow! Gotta get in the boat. Gotta get it to face this piglin down here. But I'm gonna have to take a wide angle on this one to get this in the right spot. Facing the piglin. Creepy. It's right in the middle. Ow, my brain. And if I was to... Oh, that was confusing for a second. This, perfect. He's now on top of an iron bar that's in there. I gotta get some glass to close the roof off. That'll do. Great. So how is this going to work? All right. So what's going to happen is I don't have this built yet, so I'm not going to demonstrate it. But basically what's going to happen is whenever I want to farm gold, I'm going to show up here. There's going to be some snowballs. I'm going to open these trap doors, throw a snowball at the llama, make the llama spit at this piglet in this boat. And then that piglin's going to get angry with the llama. I'm going to close that off and leave. And then that'll spread the aggression down the tube of piglins all the way down, affecting all of the floors down here And every piglin's going to run to the middle to try to beat up the llama. And then they fall down this drop chute, and they're going to go into a killing chamber. And they're going to go into a little teleporter thing in the overworld, which will take them out of... Ow, my ears. Will take them out of the mob cap up here to allow more to spawn in. But it's now time to build that. I'm going to relight these fires because I had to take some of them off so I could get mobs into certain places. But I'll go... So when I'm building, like, when I'm having a farm, then it's going to be like I'm the only one who's going to be using it, and that's okay. I feel like this is all right. But like, I know some people that I play Minecraft with. They would hate it if I told them, all right, land in the flaming circle. You see that tiny piece of glass? Stand here. Get in here. Don't fall. Don't fall in that. That's so dangerous. Get back up on the ladder. Ow. Like, I would be shunned. Shunned immediately. Now, I think the next stage is going to be to build the tube that they all teleport into when they fall into these nether portals. I'm a little bit scared that when I go through here, because these have been active, right? Like, you can see, the guy just fell down. These have been active. I'm afraid I'm going to go through this portal, and there's going to be 100,000 zombie piglins on the other side. But I guess we'll find out. No, I was wrong. I'm actually going to be building the other part of the nether killing chamber before going through this. That's what I'm going to do. And that's going to be a platform way up in the sky. So, going to put that together. I think also is going to have the storage attached to it. So, here goes another time lapse. Whoa. And here's a time lapse of making the little killing chamber and storage, which is, you know, it's also the clock that kind of puts everything together to lets the item transport work. I never actually explain, but item transport in the nether is really weird because you can't use water streams because you can't use water. So usually it involves item alignment with chests and honey, and then using a slime block on a piston to kind of bounce things down ice. And I really enjoy that. I think it's super interesting. So that's what most of the difficulty here is, as well as a lot of spawn proofing to make sure that something random doesn't spawn in a random location, which does eventually. But, you know, that's because I'm trying my best here. All right. I'm doing what I can. This is the bottom where some of the items end up going. And I actually messed it up and I fix it eventually, but that's embarrassing. And trying to put all these just like really kind of goofy materials together to make this little area was actually quite difficult for reasons I'm about to explain now. I don't think I've ever been as comically underprepared for every single step that this took. So this is we're at another check-in. We are at the this is going to be the killing chamber once this is all fully set up. And we got a storage section which has a set of just a bunch of auto crafters that are gonna shulker load gold blocks in the future, where basically everything's gonna come up here. It's gonna die. The drops are gonna be funneled down this little tube on a clock that's gonna be pushing this back and forth until it gets to here and then bounced over all of these filters. Every single one of these filters, bar one, is going to be gold nuggets and then one for ingots. Everything else is getting dumped into the fire. They all get sort of smashed and thrown into... where are they? Where? Yes, under here, there's a bunch of auto-crafters. They're all going to get auto-crafted into ingots and then spit out, thrown over here into something that's going to auto-craft... them into gold blocks, shulker load them, and that will dispense right here. Now in the future, there's going to be an attachment for bartering. I don't really know how that's going to be set up yet. But one of the things is like when you get to these sort of more like advanced farms, is that they're objectively nonsense, right? Like, you know, you're building stuff and you're thinking everything's going great. Okay, I need crafters, chests, redstone, dust. You're like, for sure. These are all predictable things. I only got so much space in my inventory. So I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get full. I'm going to have to move on to the next thing. What are we going to need? Okay. Oh, we're going to need buttons. Okay, I got to go down and get that. Oh, I need to get honey blocks. Yes, okay, we're going for that. I'm good. Oh, don't forget to gotta bring the leaves. Make sure to bring that. Oh, I didn't bring my flint and steel because I thought I was done with that. I'm gonna burn that up and get this. Put the honey up. Gotta make sure that I got all these different weird little parts. Especially when you get up to here too, because up here is about alignment. Making sure that when we get up here, everything's gonna kind of be in the place that we want it to be in. But it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, bring sand. This is gonna have a cactus on it later. Make sure these fences are in this orientation so the boats rub it correctly. And then we got slabs, walls, powders. It's literally nonsense. Every step, I was like, oh, I need this now. Oh, I need this now. I bring up a bunch of stuff that I thought I would need, but I didn't. Okay, so now after this, this is gonna take me into making the Overworld chamber, which is gonna have a little bit of back and forth. So I don't know how the time-lapse replay of this is gonna go, but it does involve I have to have an ender pearl on me to make sure that I escape a death trap. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's gonna go completely fine with no notes. And how that's gonna actually be presented, I'm not sure. Check on the llama. Llama's good. Everyone's in here doing great. If you're like a technical player, you actually probably you might be familiar with the farm design. You might realize that I'm missing a bunch of stuff here. The system came with a way to auto feed you carrots so that you wouldn't die and didn't need a beacon to make it cheaper. But I do need beacons, and I have beacon. So I'm just gonna have a beacon and starve to death while I'm here. And then I'll be okay. Alright, on to the next part. Overworld section. Let's get doing. Okay, so this probably at its face doesn't make a lot of sense. What's gonna happen here is there's gonna be I'm literally gonna go start the farm to try to get a bunch of piglins to shoot out into here and get into these boats. So this should get me back to the farm if I've done this correctly. Yes. Okay. No, this is good. Okay. Okay. Woo. Portal linking. Portal linking is stressful. Whenever I end up like following like a material list for a project, I always end up trying to bring more than is required because I am clumsy and drop stuff all the time. I'll misplace something, I'll hit the block, I'll try to go get it, but I'll miss it, or it'll drop and I'll forget about it. Or in this build where everything is literally on fire, I'll just drop it into the fire. I did that, and I lost so much glass that even the extra glass I brought wasn't enough, and I'm out of glass. So, I'm here. I also didn't have enough sand at home to make the glass required, so I'm just here grabbing a bunch of it. They'll tell you, they'll be like, it takes this long to build this. They never factor in me leaving to do something else. Right, I'm at a bit of a scary stage where I have to basically get a bunch of piglins into boats on the other side. Activating the farm and getting it going, that's completely fine, right? I'll manage with that. But I'm more worried about making sure first off, I want to make sure I have everything I'm going to need. So it's not a lot of going back and forth between the portals, which is going to happen regardless, but I would like to be a little bit prepared. The other thing is that this very well may kill me. This is going to be basically a death trap. With the knowledge of disaster incoming, take a snowball and get this started. Go down here. Is he hitting the glass and not me? Okay, the glass is in the way. Awesome. This is good. This is good. Trial and error. Figuring things out, you know? Let's try this again. Okay, almost. Why does he only spit at me once? Aha! Ow. Ow. What a cool, not dangerous farm in the slightest. So this is working. Yes. They are angering on all levels. Many are here. Some are going through this portal. I need to wait here a minute. I need to otherwise let this sort of fucking play out, I guess. What a mess this is. Okay, I think I've immediately hit mob cap, though, with the one sitting over there. I'm gonna hope that enough got through on the relevant side. I have pearls. See what happens. With the snowball in my hand. Okay, not enough of them actually came out to get into the boats. Like, they didn't push them each other into the boats. I got one. We got exactly one. Okay. Interesting. They all congregated. I would have thought more of them would have ended up, like, in the boats from that. Okay, well, try this again. Ow. Ow! Jeez, what the... This llama is useless on purpose and by accident. It's good to know that mechanically, though, that it does work, right? Like, the Llamaggro is succeeding. The main issue is I can't get these guys to go in the fucking portals. I'm actually realizing that the tutorial at no point ever indicates when to turn these portals on. So I feel like I probably could have by now. But let's see. I'm gonna have to turn those portals on. It's literally the only thing I can do. Given the difficulty I've had starting this farm, I feel like I'm gonna end up like using this once and then trying not to. Just from this. Just so I can get as much gold at one time as possible. Nope. There we go. Aggression is working on every platform, so I'm once again, I'm just super thrilled that that's working. Okay, ender pearls on. Wait a couple minutes to get as many into the other side as possible. Pearl at the ready. Ow, my brain. Surely. Surely at this point. Okay, the boats are full. I'm out of here. Yes, they're in the boats. Goodbye. Please, please, let me. Thank you. Yes. The boats have been filled. Now, these guys are basically, so the llama on the other side gets them angry in the first place, and then they become even more angry when they come through the portal, because I'm going to have another setup here of another person annoying them. All right, building up this outside bit now, I suppose. This outside bit, the whole point of it is to basically deliver piglins to a new portal a little bit higher up and delay them for the 15 seconds required to go between portals. It's just a weird glass tube. I'll explain it. It makes more sense once it's already done. Right now, it just looks like I'm placing a whole bunch of glass, and it's all very like strange looking and confusing. There's scaffolding. What's that for? Why are there walls? Why is it wet? I don't know. Why did I do any of this? It doesn't make sense until it's done. and then I'll show you what's happening here. Editing Berg realized that I never actually showed what this compartment looked like. Afterwards, I just made it and then moved on. So this is after everything is all built. So this is the elevator contraption. So what happens is, when the zombified piglins fall down the chute, they come through this portal and they're kind of shoved out. They get angered because we have this snow golem just repeatedly throwing snowballs at these guys, and they're all continuously angry. What the? Okay, we're back here again. Sorry. Yes, the piglins here are angry at the snow golem. That transfers the aggression to the piglins that come through. They try to pathfind to this guy by climbing up these ladders. They get up to here. The water and scaffolding pushes them along. They then fall. They land in the lava, and the lava, because they're immune to lava, pushes them the same way water would. It pushes them through the portal, and that takes them to the killing chamber. This is what I use to get the boats in, because you break the portal, you dispense a bunch of boats on top of each other from a dispenser down there, and then relight the portal, and they all teleport in. So that's what I use to get all the boats, the 40 boats stacked up on top of each other. Okay, great. Okay. The filters are all set. Everything should be together. Everything's set, overworld set. Now it should be time to get the farm going. As a little test, this is gonna be my first test to see if it works. Everything up here should be good. There's already some piglins in here from just, you know, chilling, I guess. Time to start it and see if it actually works. All right, step 1, starting the farm. The most difficult part so far. Nope. We need to make a snow farm just for snowballs to start this. Here we go. Started. Okay. We leave there. We fly up here. Turn this on. And up here, and we wait a few minutes. Alright, we've already run into an issue. There's a glass there. Okay. Ah, fuck. Okay. I think that's right. Well, that got stuff down, so that must be correct. Okay, everything's looking good. Stuff is going down the ladder. Oh my god, the sheer number of mobs. Burning. Every time this thing goes off, a gold block is crafted. I think this is a success. This is looking like a huge success. I wish I could go over and see what it looks like on the other side. Alright, though. All that. Let's go inspect the shulker box. Did leave it the right orientation. 44 gold blocks already. Hot damn. This is looking good. Well, so far this part is a success, and that's huge. Everything down here is still running at the llama. Chutes are completely filled. Getting teleported. This is looking fantastic. I don't think I ever explained the cactus. The cactus behind me is because there's so much experience that you can never pick up that using this farm for long periods of time lags out the game. So the cactus destroys some of the XP that I don't need. And the experience is pretty high, as you can tell so far. Alright, so yeah, this is the end of day 2, and I've done the gold farm part, but haven't gotten to the bartering bit. So that's looking like it's gonna be the next step. This is working super well. Gold blocks firing out. That's good. I think I might just AFK this for a little bit, just to build up a little bit of a gold supply for future projects. Okay, so I like got up and just like left an auto clicker on for like 5 minutes. Got myself almost 100 levels. So that's pretty solid. It still produces stuff even if I just don't do anything. Just less, right? Shulker's looking 5 minutes. Holy crap! This is a good machine. This is a good machine. This has been a successful project so far. We're not even done. We have bartering to add to this. That's the next step. There's even more. Even after that gargantuan amount of work. But I'm going to be set for gold, and that's going to be a lot of bartering. That's huge. Huge, huge. All right. This is now... We're entering day 3 of the gold project. The gold part is completed. I have AFK'd it for a... Like, with an auto clicker for probably 30 minutes. Not even 30 minutes total. Probably more like 10. And the gold blocks are looking pretty good. This farm works extremely well. I'm a big fan of it. I'm still bad at starting it, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I think I actually need to like get more snowballs because I'm that bad at it. So, gold is good by itself. It's good to have just for making rails, and that's kind of like a main limiter in a lot of other farm ideas. Just having a lot of powered rails. I've had to be cheap in some places, which is really annoying, because I prefer to be extra and bougie whenever possible. Now, the next step, the reason there's 2 reasons I went with this farm, right? One, I liked the idea, generally speaking, and I wanted to build it out of the Soulfire. Instead, because placing magma blocks hurts my brain. I know you can do that with any other farm if you felt like it, but I wanted to do that. I wanted to see if I could make something like that was highly efficient. And this one has a bespoke bartering setup that you can just sort of like change a few blocks and throw in. And then we can take some of this gold and decide whether we're going to send it to the bartering setup to get the 150 million blocks that it produces, or if we just want the gold. And that's really handy. Having a kind of like a set solution for a farm is just like really handy. And it's interesting. So I'm going to go with that. There's a couple of features of it that I'm going to change for my own purpose. For example, it has a shulker box crafter in the storage, which I'm going to use. But so you put the shells in, and then you put the chests in, and it gives you shulker boxes that automatically fills up this big line of shulker boxes. But I think that the regular shulker boxes are ugly. So I want to alter it so that I can also craft better looking ones that are dyed. Because I just want to be a little bit extra. Okay. I have a bunch of stuff, and I think it's going to be everything that I need. I say, crossing my fingers, knowing that it won't be. So I'm going to stop collecting stuff and get this started. Actually get this started. Ugh. This whole thing is going to end up looking really complicated, but essentially all it is a bunch of shulker loaders to put certain items into shulker boxes for you. And then it's the same ice path with a hole that has piglins in it. It's the same thing. It's throwing gold at piglins in a spot and then taking all their items and throwing it down an ice path. So it looks like a lot and it looks complicated. It's the same slice over and over again for basically the same purpose as previous. It's just, it looks a little bit more intimidating because it has a shulker loaders attached to it. It's after all, like you kind of like I like it though because you get to kind of build it in like lines like a 3D printer, and it feels good. It's a little weird because you're making a place that's going to store a bunch of piglins, but that's something. All right, so the storage is mostly set up. I've got the little system here for turning this between bartering and non-bartering, which I'm realizing should have a staircase leading up to it the longer I stand here, but that's fine. And these are all of the filters and shulker loaders all set up. I haven't yet made I think that because there's like an attachment you can add that that I want to add that just like crafts shulker boxes and throws them in when they get used. But the problem is that that I don't have enough shulker boxes, is I don't have enough cyan dye to make the bougie fancy shulker boxes. I'd have to put in plain ones. And that's not the attitude I'm taking into 2026. So there's gonna be filters for everything. The exception of this lone, strange, lonely... Oh, I didn't add an opera under here. Okay, I need to do that. Other than this lone, weird section by itself, that is going to be for any unstackables or anything else that kind of doesn't fit into the rest. So I'm thinking happy ghasts. I would like some of those. But I also don't need like 7 chests of shulker boxes full of them. It's just not necessary in the slightest. So my idea basically is, and there's the other like unstackable things, which is like your enchanted books, water bottles, fire resist potions. I feel like all of those, it would be good to have some of them, but eventually I don't need it. Like the original like person who made this Potato Noir had this like really cool, really interesting setup that it was about like it would filter the books and put that in one section. It would filter the potions and put that into another section. And I'm going to get a random mess of it and then throw the rest in the fire because I couldn't be fucked. I just don't need it. I don't need it. If I let this go for a few minutes, the amount of soul speed boots, soul speed books I will get will last me a lifetime. So the rest can go into the garbage for all I care. And the rest can too. It's completely fine. I think my only exception is I might change one of these filters to... You know, I said right off the offset, I don't need 5 chests of shulker boxes full of happy ghasts. Maybe I do. Okay, so the next step, though, however, not only is getting more cyan dye, but I'll do that passively. It's time to get the piglins. No, piglins in here. We need piglins to do bartering. Piglin bartering. So, it's time to grab those. There's a really cool and interesting way to get them. That's one of the things that I've definitely struggled with in my Minecraft time. Is trying to organically figure out how to grab like just like a random fistful of mobs. But some people have so many genius ways for doing it. This is one of them. So I'm gonna get the materials for that. Set it up, and I'll meet you back on the journey. Alright, so here we are. You can see we got the gold fire in the background on the nether roof. We're going to do an easy way to get ourselves some piglins to put into the bartering. Right now where I'm standing, if I look down, we're in a crimson forest. Piglins all over the place. What we're going to do up here is make a spawning platform for them. That is going to pick them up and no one else. Okay, here it is. We have a little spawning platform. We got a scaffolding into the sky. This is trying to dispense some carved pumpkins. So what should happen is that all the warp fungus, everything should scare away the hoglins. Zombie piglins should just wander off freely. But the regular piglins should end up in here. They will get... When they walk over that direction, they will get a pumpkin dispensed onto them, which is going to take them from the mob cap, make them not spawnable. Not despawnable. That's the word. So I'm just going to go up here. And there's 23 pumpkins in there, and we go until it's empty. Okay, we're at the top. Let's go have a look downwards. Oh, it's already working. Some piglins are stuck in there. Now we're just waiting until we get 23 of them. Which could take a little bit. It could take like 10 minutes because, you know, I am pretty high up there, but it still takes some time. It's a small place. Oh. Come on, buddy. There we go. Come on, get in there. Just, no, you suck. I'm also annoyed because I brought this is, once again, I brought exactly 23 pumpkins. And one guy just wandered off with it. I'm gonna try to, I guess I'm gonna have to try to like lure him in later. I don't know what to do. You know what? I'm gonna get up, right? I'm gonna go and like do something else for like 10 minutes while this happens. And slowly collect these over the next like 10 minutes. And I'm gonna come back and there's gonna be 15. Like there's gonna be 6 in here and then 15 out here. Just to annoy me. Okay, it looks like we have, at the very least, spent all of the pumpkins that are in there. So that would mean... Oh, I'm gonna have to fly away really quick, despawn everything. Yeah, that's empty. That means there are 22 in there. And then this fucking guy. Yes! Haha, it worked. Oh, they're all very angry. Nice. Okay, so next step is I'm gonna. Ow! Oh my god! Oh no! Stop shooting me! Stop shooting me! Let's just Ow! Ow! Make a little wall, because I don't want them to shoot each other either, accidentally, and kill each other. Okay, so we'll have a little wall here. Come on, roof it. Turn this shit off. Right. Now it's time to build the rail line out to the farm. Okay, this is a little platform. Minecart's gonna come up here. Gonna hit this activator rail. It'll kick out piglin to this spot here. It'll get scared by the soul torch, drop into the chamber. And the minecarts will circle around and just kind of yeet off the side over here. That's the goal. So we're just gotta make a large dirt path up to here. That platform looks good. They look clear. The really normally sensible proportion. Oh, this really got away from me, didn't it? I was trying to guess. I was like, oh, I'm a little close. Oh, I'm going pretty far this way. Oh, I'm getting a little close. This, it just, I don't know. That really got from me. Yeah, this has gone incredibly cursed. That's fine. That's fine. They're going up. That's what matters. Yep. God, that looks ridiculous. Okay, yeah. First guy's going up. Up it goes. Ejected. Huh? Why aren't they? Oh, it's just like taking them a second. Oh yeah, so I really need to do this slow because it's taking them a while to even realize that they have something to run away from. That's kind of goofy. Okay, so this is gonna be a longer process than anticipated. Because yeah, if I ran another minecart over here while that guy was standing there, he'd get picked up again, right? And then I would just have too many. Well, that worked. I'm gonna do 2 at a time, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna do 1 or 2 at a time, and I'm gonna take this very slow, and we'll be back once I got them all in there. And this is the last piglin coming up. It's a good thing I left as much stuff as I did, because one of these guys did in fact die. I found his carved pumpkin on the ground. And that's number 24. Now that that is set up, we have all of them. I can clear out some of the area around them. Some of this mess. And then I'm going to run the farm for a little bit so I can actually get the items that I need, because I don't actually have the stuff for the filters. Like, there's a section for spectral arrows. I don't have a single spectral arrow. I've never found one, so I'm gonna clear this out, get some of these items, set up the filters, and then we're going to be in business. Okay, the filters are all set up correctly. They're all ready to be good to go. These are not labeled. I'll figure it out when I get there. I had to actually add some extra leaves because I was standing right here and the piglins were shooting at me, which I felt was really toxic and unnecessary. I also had actually made a mistake earlier in the build where I wasn't pointing the hoppers correctly into this block for the filters and into the comparators. So it was pulling items down too quickly before the actual like filter could work. So that took a little bit of figuring out. But okay, I'm gonna actually fill my inventory so I don't get just like completely like jam-packed crap again. And we're gonna see to make sure everything works. Come on. Yes. First try for the first time ever. Everything up here is looking good. Items getting sent down. It looks like it's getting picked up. Yeah, everything that's going through is getting picked up as far as I can see. Shulker boxes are starting to get filled up. It's gonna take a little while for me to actually like have this thing completely filled because, you know, this produces a crap load of items, but it's still shulker boxes full of stuff. But they are producing. It is ending up where I believe it's supposed to. At the very least, the shulkers are filling up. It'll take a little bit before I realize to make sure, like, you know, the shulker loaders are working. This is looking good. Yeah, we can see these big, chunky batches of items coming in now. Now that the gold is picked up. Because this is essentially operating exactly at the level required. Like this is the max. It produces the max amount of gold that these guys can process every minute. Oh no, I fucking clicked too fast and I broke the armor stand? Okay, let's just go down here, make sure. How's everything looking down here? Yeah, this is all looking good. Unstackables. Yeah, there's several. A couple. I kept it unsorted to get some garbage just in case. And iron nuggets already came through, so that's pretty solid. But after a certain point, it's like if we lose some, that's okay. Okay, I think the last steps is going to be, well, I have to replace the armor stand now because I am a dingus. So replace the armor stand. I'm going to put up a regen beacon and AFK this for a little bit longer, I think. While editing, maybe. Editing the rest of this. I was just standing at this with an auto clicker for a little bit. As you can tell, like I'm up 50 levels, but that was like 20 minutes. I love that this does work if I'm just AFK and I just can't have like an auto clicker on. Much slower, much slower, but why is something getting stuck there? I'm missing a piece of glass. Why are you out here? There's another block that's not spawn proofed. This is gonna be me for the next 100 years, I feel like. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, so I was standing there actually using looting for probably 20 minutes. There's 2 shulkers of blackstone, 2 of gravel. Iron nuggets are filling up. Spectral arrows are filling up. Quartz is already full. Like, this is... Oh, even the goofy chest is basically filled, which is kind of crazy. So that's sick. This is going fantastically. I'm a huge fan, and I think that is going to be it. I say that's going to be it when this has been gargantuan, and I didn't realize just how long it was until I started actually like editing and putting it together and how much stuff I was like, oh no, this is too much. I got to cut this out, and got to keep this a little bit more reasonable. The scope creep, I didn't realize. I didn't realize the scope of what I was making. But on the next one, I'm hoping we get into maybe some decorating or something. Making something look nice, but I'm really happy with this. This is going super well, and this is gonna serve me well over the time. And we have finally gotten revenge for poor Percival. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you see, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new and that's the sort of thing that you would like to do. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!